This episode of The Build Line is brought to you by Republic Elite Integration. Whether you're a homeowner building your dream home or a contractor looking for a trusted AV partner in Northern California, Republic Elite Integration delivers custom technology solutions that elevate every project. From dedicated home theaters and whole home audio to outdoor entertainment, lighting control, home automation, surveillance systems, and smart home integration. Their team designs and installs systems that are as functional as they are impressive. If you're planning to remodel a custom home or simply want to bring your home into the future, visit Republic Elite Integration and see what's possible. Today on the Build Line, why homeowners don't trust contractors. That's us.
That's us. Yep. We are not trustworthy whatsoever.
Yep, the worst.
Yeah, terrible.
And today we're going to talk about why. Why trust us? Why don't trust us? And the things to look out for if you are looking for a contractor.
Yeah, all the things that contractors don't do, right? Return your phone calls, bad communication, ghosting, overpromising, right? Why is it we're so bad? Why is that?
And if you're a contractor, take a listen.
Yeah, check it out. It'll be a good episode. 20 to 30 sub-trades per job.
$35,000 a week.
We'll be licensed 10 years next year.
You've mastered the trade. Now you need to master the business. Okay, so today it is why homeowners don't trust contractors.
Oh, yeah. That's such an overarching theme.
Well, some homeowners, not our homeowners.
Correct. I agree.
So
I think the majority, if you just word on the street,
yes,
if you're throwing it out there and you're like, I'm getting ready to remodel my kitchen, what's the typical response if you're talking about it at a cocktail party?
Ugh.
Oh, that's going to be so bad.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my neighbor, Sue.
Yeah.
Her kitchen remodel took 9 months, right?
So I think, it's always the timeline, but I think there's 100 other things that go into that. The non-prepper, they're sabotaging themselves because these guys that are getting these bad names, they know the right thing to do. They're just not doing it. This isn't their first kitchen. I could understand if it was a guy's first kitchen or addition and he just had a rough time. But these guys are 25 years or more as a business, and they're still making the same mistakes over and over again and giving us a bad name.
Yeah. I think clients don't wake up not trusting contractors. We give them the ammo to not trust us.
You earn your reputation.
Yeah. To your point, it's the no return phone calls. It's the bad communication. It's the lack of scheduling. It's the lack of transparency. This industry has teed it up for homeowners to automatically distrust us.
Yeah. It's all the communication stuff.
Yes.
Even the not so great remodels or builds that get done, they're still all right. But it's all that communication and nobody not writing anything down. And not only communication between homeowner and general, it's subs and generals. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows what it is. Blind leading the blind down the whole way. Yes, I agree.
And when you don't do what you say you're going to do, whether you're a sub to a GC to a sub, a GC to a homeowner, if you don't do what you say you're going to do, you lose trust. Yeah. And that just ripples across the job.
Yeah. Yeah, all the way down.
All the way down. And it makes it so that when a problem happens, because there's construction, there's always problems.
Naturally.
It makes it for a situation on site that's going to be very advantageous or very combative.
And the poor homeowner they're not construction people.
No.
So they get in, I've seen them, they'll be like you, me, and the homeowner. And they're trusting you, but they're losing the trust. And they don't know construction, so they're kind of just taking it all in, and they feel kind of out of the loop and a little bit maybe attacked and things like that. I've seen it. I've been on those job walks with people, and it's a sad thing because they're like, well, here's $1 million or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know how to hammer a nail, but I know this don't look right, and nobody's taking responsibility for it.
Yeah, or they're made out to they get blown off by those concerns, or they're made to feel stupid about their concerns. We get that a lot. We've had people call the office and ask, hey, I have this project. My contractor's been on it for a year and a half. I just don't think something's right. Could I pay you to come look at this? We've had those phone calls at the office.
Yeah.
And that's a scary thought to me as somebody who has clients.
Yeah.
If my client is calling somebody else in town to come look at my work.
Yeah.
And
how many of those have you done?
We've only done one.
One.
And it was really a situation of a client walked into a coffee shop next door to a job we were building. Mm-hmm. Ran into our superintendent, started talking to him, got a little bit of the story of what was going on. And he said, here, call the office. You need to talk to Jen. And so he called the office and talked to Jen for a good amount of time. And I remember Jen walked into Steve's office and was like, I really think we need to help these people. This sounds really bad, like really, really bad. And Steve went out there and it was like, oh my God, what is happening? I mean, there's clients' furniture still left in the house. The subs had trashed the site, leaving food and debris to the point that there were rodents in the house now living in the clients' couches.
Oh,
I mean, it was, they said that they did original lath and plaster on the walls. It was not lath and plaster that was on the walls. It was exterior stucco.
Oh,
you know the story.
I know the job.
You know exactly what job this is.
Wow, that was bad.
It was so bad, and they couldn't get any response from this contractor. They still had active construction going. They were basically at closing walls. And we were like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. This is wild. And that was from a lack of trust. And the client going, this is taking so long. They'd already been out of their house. They'd moved out for this remodel. And they'd already been out of their house for a year at this point. And they had little kids. And they were living around the corner, paying rent, paying a mortgage. It was just wild.
And paying him.
And paying the contractor who was saying, oh, yeah, we're going to go. And it was wild. It was one of the very few contracts that we've taken over from another contractor because it was just so bad. I've never seen anything like it. But it was from a lack of trust. I think it really was. And this client was so just beside themselves of like, oh, my God, we've paid this person all this money. But what do we do?
Yeah. What do you do? No matter if in the beginning the homeowner took the cheapest price or thought whatever, now what do you do?
Yeah.
And that the vetting situation, I don't know.
It's hard. You can't tell who a bad contractor is until it's too late sometimes. Yeah, there's Google reviews and there's license board. You can look up on, contractor license complaints, those kind of things. But what if those all are fine? What if that's all Google reviews populated by your friends and, family, and there hasn't been a formal complaint? And then you don't really know until you get into it and you're like, oh God, this is really bad. What do I do now?
Yeah. And you're 120 grand into it as well. Wasted.
Yeah.
So Heather, what do you use for construction management software?
Of course, Jerry, we use Buildertrend. You know that. All the alerts, all the notifications, but it's where the portal is for our subs, our clients to really go and learn everything about the job. We always tell clients that is the hub of information between your daily logs, scope changes, cost increases, how do I pay my invoices, all of those parts, pieces. The client is in that portal, can access all the information they need on their project, but also our subtrades. Our subtrades can know what's going on, view daily logs, figure out if we really making the schedule up, are we actually getting stuff done out there, pictures in real time.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, if your general contractor has Buildertrend, your subtrades get free access to it.
Correct.
And it's got all the information that we need to access projects if entered in properly by you guys. I love Buildertrend. I love being part of it. I think everybody should have it.
Yeah. So if you don't already, check it out, buildertrend.com.
That's tough. I think going back to before you get to that, why they have a bad rap, something happened in maybe the last 30 years or whatever, I don't know, 80s, 90s, 2000s. And we've lost value, I guess. Like, it's like, the trades. Nobody wants to work in the trades.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to hire the trades.
It's looked down upon.
It's looked down, and especially in residential. And when I was in commercial in the union, we had a code of ethics. And there it was like the military for tradesmen. You learned how to act, look, talk, how to do everything right.
Mm-hmm.
In residential, it's completely gone. And
God, was it ever there?
I think it was in the 70s.
When?
My uncle was in it in the 70s, and from what I hear, it was there. But it's like we're not building any value in our trade, our thing that creates us to have a living. If you call Bell Brothers or Bonnie Heating and Air, their men show up in a clean, presentable truck in a uniform.
Yeah.
They had somebody answer the phone that was professional, whether it was an office person or the owner.
Mm-hmm.
There was like this built up thing. So when they got there, they could charge the appropriate amount of money to give you the appropriate service.
Yeah. If you're I think that's looked at more as a service industry, right?
Yeah.
But then you also are, I think the service industry part that you're getting at is what has gone to the wayside.
Yeah. And like, so if the guy pulls up in a 96 Mitsubishi Eclipse and he just rolled out of his bed, the value's gone. It's gone. So that's the presentation. That's what everybody thinks who we are.
Yeah.
And we are a lot of that. That's a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
And it's not and then they go, we're not making enough money. Well, because you stop doing those things. Like I said, when I was in the union, if you didn't act this way or do these things or wear these clothes, have the uniform, you had to, as a drywall finisher, you had to wear white pants, boots, right? All these things were mandatory.
Yeah.
Because this is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
But in residential, it's not that way. You can just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And everybody sees that. And we live in a world of visuals. And that's the first thing you do is see, right? You see the website, you see the Instagram, you see the person, you see their team. You don't get to see, you could just see a picture. Everybody's got that, but you see all these people. Mm-hmm. So all day long we're driving around town and everybody's going, look at those dirty ass construction workers.
Yeah.
Look at those dirtbags.
Yeah. I think it starts, I think about, I'm dating myself here a little bit, but I think about when I graduated high school. It was like, if you're not going to college,
you
were going to the trade.
Anything.
You're basically, they would do the whole, this is so-and-so, and they're going to Stanford to get an engineering degree, right? And it's like, oh, this person's going to be amazing, right? Mm-hmm. Like they have so much potential. And then it's like, Jerry, and he's going into the drywall union, right? And it's like, oh God, right?
Yeah.
Like, man, yeah. Well, that wasn't Jerry. You're going to have a mediocre life. Good luck, right? It seems like that mentality 20 plus years ago was there. And
meanwhile, from 18 to 25, I made more money than anybody that went to college.
Right? No debt.
I was just working, union money, had a house, had a boat.
Right.
I was 23, had a boat and like a 4-year-old truck and going to Folsom Lake. These guys were like, oh, I don't know, I'm going to go to work Monday or whatever they're doing. I don't know.
Right. Sleep until noon, racking up student debt, still paying on it. Yeah. And that's what kills me is that, and I think that has transferred then to this overarching theme that I think we're talking about with trust and how you look at the people who do what we do. How you look at the trades, how you look at the people that come to your house to do drywall, to rewire switches, to paint, install cabinets, finish trim, all that kind of stuff. It's this perception of, well, I don't know. That doesn't really matter. What are you really doing? It's not valued.
Yeah, there's no.
And I think maybe we're too much in an echo chamber of our own discussions, but I feel like there's been more emphasis put on that in the last few years. I know like Steve sits, on these boards for trade school and promotion of trade schools and getting into the trades. And I think there's been more of a shift, especially as college costs have gone up. And just
it's all over
higher education,
the internet, and everybody, be in the trades,
Yeah.
But if you want to make the big bucks, you got to start with performing like the big buck guys. You know?
Yeah, you can't roll in with
Can't.
garbage falling off of your dash and all that. And then that just it adds to this, like, let me question what you're saying. Is this right? Is this not, are you full of it?
Yeah, right. Because they don't know. So they're trusting us with everything.
Yes.
And people like to be around people that are like them or liked, right? So, you got to kind of conform that. That's why you can't show up like a dirtbag. You got to kind of clean up and look like an average Joe.
Yes. And I think that I would say the majority of the people that do hire us, there's some kind of rapport. We can tell that we're going to jive personality wise, or they are going to appreciate how we approach a project with communication, with transparency, those kind of things. And the clients that value that, I feel like, make the conscious choice to hire us. I think there's still the bottom chasing people that will say things when we go to look at a job for them of, well, I really want to use this guy that painted my house the last time because he's so cheap.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, does he do a good job? Like, does he show up when he says he's going to? Mm-hmm. Like, how long does he take to paint? Like, it's like, that's the quantifying thing. Well, he's just so cheap. Okay. Well, what does that mean? What are you giving up in turn for that? All right, Jerry, are your allergies killing you?
Yeah, it's nice out there right now.
It is. It's like crazy. It's like summer already here, but it's been so cool because you've been to my house, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we have that nice big 12-foot multi-slide panoramic door. What my favorite thing though is you can open it up and it has the full screen that goes all the way across, so I can let my kids out, go swim, right? Full screen across the 12-foot opening. No problems. No bugs are getting in because right now there's all kinds of bugs in my house. But I can also open it up for the parties, indoor, outdoor. It's like full California theme. Panoramic doors. They're made in the U.S. You can check out all the functions and varieties, links, sizes, screen configurations, bifold, all those pieces. Check them out. Panoramicdoors.com. Lots of options for you there. Probably my favorite, though, for that indoor-outdoor California room.
I love it. Panoramicdoors.com. So, whose fault is it? Is it ours? Is it the homeowners going, I need the cheap, I need the cheap, I need the cheap, and then forcing people to be cheap?
I don't know. I think it is both. I think that...
Is it the contractor that goes, when they go, oh, you were too much money, and he goes, okay, I'll take $5,000 off?
I think it's the lies that homeowners tell themselves. They lie to themselves that they're okay with that and they're okay with the cheap guy because I'm saving some money, or they're talking themselves into it. And then that lie that they tell themselves continues to spiral because then bad behavior gets excused. I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock on Tuesday, right? It's noon on Tuesday. He's not there yet. Oh, I got tied up at another job. Sorry, I'm not going to make it today. It's going to be Wednesday. And you start excusing the bad behavior that this industry gets and the reputation this industry gets because it's like, well, he's not as expensive as the other guy, so I'm going to be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And I think it spirals. I think it continues to... It allows bad behavior to continue, and it allows the clients to ignore what they shouldn't put up with.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They shouldn't put up with stuff like that. You've hired a service to build this house or whatever it is, and they should perform as a business does.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they accept it.
Yeah.
And they accept that it's this guy's now a month and a half late, or it's this, and you continue this cycle, and so it just continues to your point of like
for a year.
Yeah, it continues
on the one project.
Yeah, the homeowner's at fault. We're at fault. It's bad behavior by everybody in general, and nobody wants to address that.
And they'll become project managers of their own job. When I get there, it's kind of like at that point, right? It's not halfway, but it's interesting time. You're closing up walls, and we'll be there for a long time. And I can tell the contractors that have lost control because the homeowners start coming in and opening up and bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
And say little snide remarks and things like that.
You can sense it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And they'll even ask, like, oh, how long have you worked for ABC?
That's, I'm sure, a fun conversation.
And it's like, it happens more than I would like to admit that the homeowners ask stuff like that.
So how do you approach that then with the general? Are you like, oh, man, looks like you lost the trust of Sally and Joe over there, or are you just kind of like on eggshells of like, ugh, this could go south quick?
When they approach me with any question, I go, oh, it's a beautiful day outside.
You're like, avoid the situation.
Because I don't really work directly for them, right? And you just got to look at the guy that you're working for. Again, I do it. I go, well, this isn't an A player contractor. This is him.
So you accept that. You're like, well, rather than being like, hey,
guys don't like that.
Contractor over here. You know your client's saying this.
Nope. I've tried to be like that, and it's cost me the relationship, which is money. And a lot of those guys have a lot of work, and so I'm like caught in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And obviously, as a sub, you don't want to be part of a team that sucks, but they call you guys the 1% for a reason. And so then there's the 10% group. And then after that, it's just everybody else.
Yeah.
So there's not enough work in town for me to just only work for the cream of the crop. I got to have a stable of guys.
Yeah.
And if you start saying things to them, they'll just never call you again. It hurts their ego, hurts their feelings. They don't like it. And it's not going to change anything.
Yeah, they don't want the feedback. They don't want to get better. They're just fine with it.
They know they should have builder trend, and they should be writing things down, and they should have all these things. But they I don't know, either they didn't know how to add enough to be able to hire or get those things, or they think all the money's theirs. I have no idea why they, after 20 years, are still making the same decisions. And they're just saying, well, homeowners suck. They turn it around. It's not contractors get a bad rap.
No, it's not our fault.
Yeah, it's the homeowner.
Yeah. It's the homeowner's fault. Always. It's always their fault. Yeah. Well, if you want your homeowners not to be mad at you, you should definitely buy in with Builder Trend and get your daily logs and document your change orders and have that clear line of communication with your schedule to your clients, because it will help avoid situations like bad communication, not knowing what's going on and what is actually happening on your job site. So if you don't already, check out buildertrend.com for all of your project management needs.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, the Builder Trend, not only great for you guys, but great for us.
Yeah.
We're part of the team, so we need to see what's going on.
Totally.
It's good to have these things.
Yeah, I think we were talking about the lies and the misperceptions. I think I have a whole soapbox I'll get on as well, but I think that the things like Pinterest and HGTV and these shows of let me make over a room in 3 days and it's going to be phenomenal. It's infuriating to me in what we do, because it devalues what we work really hard to do. It devalues it because it makes everybody a quote unquote expert. Well, I can do that. I watched a YouTube video, and it frustrates me because it devalues what we do and what we work really hard to do. And, you think about it, there's somebody's whole job within my company to manage all the trades that it takes to do, let's call a whole home remodel.
Yeah.
That'll take 6 months.
Yeah.
That's their whole job.
How many trades? 50?
I mean, though, depending on what it is, right? Depending on how many subs and the extent of the scope.
50 different companies.
Correct.
They're managing the schedules and payment and things and
all
making sure they're done.
And and inspections and all the details, and it's, all the finishes are there, and the materials. Make sure the scope's right, the dollars, how much is it going to cost, what unforeseens are there, what did we inherit? Expectations, all these things. And it drives me crazy when there's these shows and it's like, we did all this and we did it in 3 days. And it's like, and it cost 50 cents. And it's just like, oh my God, like it's so unrealistic. And it just, maybe it's how like doctors feel when they watch ER. I don't know, right? Like it just like, is it so far from reality that it's just like, it makes it just unbelievable. That's the way it feels to me when I watch those shows.
It is. It's on TV. It's not real.
I know. HGTV, you're going to come at me. I know. It's fine. We can,
Yeah, the real cost of things is wild. And there's always somebody that'll do it for cheaper and cut a corner for cheaper. There's 15 ways to get it cheaper. And there's that percentage that will do it. And what's the cost of that? The cost could be your reputation, could be quality, could be a lot of things.
What are you giving up? And I think homeowners don't know that until they're in it.
What are you giving up as a contractor for doing that?
Yeah. What are you inheriting within that client?
Listening to this podcast, like, think about it, right? Like, if you haven't been that successful, when I say successful, not like monetary, but like successful with the relationships of the clients that you've been building for, like, take a look and change it. You can change.
Yeah.
And when you hire that sub that is paying his employees cash, what example are you setting? And what are you losing there? And what are you setting that homeowner up for?
Yeah. And I think most of the time, hopefully, I think catastrophic wise, most homeowners don't see the ramifications of the cut corners until it's too late, or there's too much of a domino effect to be like, it's that guy's fault. But we hear about it all the time. I think I've mentioned this before. When we meet people at school functions, whatever, a ball field, people will ask what we do. We'll talk about what we own a business, we do remodeling, we do new construction. And it's so funny because the follow-up will always be some story about how something went wrong on whatever they did. Really good friends of ours built a custom home. We didn't know them before they built. And they always joke, they're like, we wish we knew you guys and we wish we did it. And the first time they invited us over to their house, they walked us through all the things that their builder did so shitty. And they're like, see this? Like, geez, and I couldn't even get him to come back to do a punch list. We didn't even pay him the last $6,000 or something on their thing because they just wouldn't come back and do the punch list.
I can't tell you how many times a year I hear a general contractor say, you know what? Fuck it. They can have that last $6,000.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, why?
And then it's like, then you have no warranty and you can never call that person. So it's so funny to me because we hear it so much and it's so much of trust. And we'll have clients come to the office and maybe before they decide to sign up for pre-con with us or to, choose us for their project. And, we'll talk about it. And really the thing I try to emphasize to the people that meet with us is that you're buying, anybody can put in a 2x4 for the most part. If you're somewhat competent, we're all buying the same materials. We're all doing the same work. This isn't quote unquote hard. In my opinion, this isn't brain surgery, but it's like you're coming in and you're joining my team together for your project. You're getting certainty, you're getting predictability, you're getting good communication, and ultimately you're buying peace of mind for me to do your job. Like, you don't have to worry about it. And so I think that gets lost when homeowners are chasing those dollars. Well, this guy's this much cheaper. I'm just going to go with him. Okay, but you just gave up all that stuff. Do you realize that? And I can't tell you how many people afterwards will hear that they did their job and it's like, well, it took 2 years to do it and it was so bad and we didn't get this. And they don't know that pain until afterwards.
Yeah.
And so I try to settle at the fact if a client doesn't use us and they do pick somebody else and that does happen to them, I'm like, well, that person just probably turned into the best salesman for me. Yeah. Because they're going to go on to all their friends. We didn't pick them and we should have picked them.
So when they take that cheaper guy that's unrealistic, they might end up with that walkthrough like your friends gave you.
Yeah.
Is it if that guy, because he was 25% less or 20% than market price, he had to hire these subs and then he couldn't get those guys to do the quality work?
Most likely.
Like, because they could install the tile, but it's going to be meh. And then they could do the chem, and then you're not going to be able to get them back to fix that 15%.
Yeah.
A, they might not know how to do it, or they would have done it anyway.
Yeah.
Or B, they're like,
they don't care.
Like,
they just don't care. Yes.
And so in a picture, it might look all good, but when you start living somewhere, somewhere you're going to live for 30 years or 20 or whatever and have parties and Christmases. You don't want, there's 50 trades in there. You don't want each one of them to be 15% less. You know, that's a big number. Now your house is like not so cool. It looks like you tried to be cool, but you didn't
pull it off, right? I
Yeah.
think it's like, you know, if you're local to our market and in Sacramento, there was like this big 2008 to 2010 like flip, right?
Mhm.
And it's like you'd walk in and you'd look at the house and you'd be like, this looks fine. And then you'd start looking around a little more. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And so we get into some of those now that, you know, it'll turn over now. It's the third buyer. And they're like, oh, I got flipped in, 2011. And we're like, what's going on behind there? And it's usually something janky.
And not even looks like real structural problems.
Big problems.
That might have passed inspection and it might have been fine.
Yeah.
But you hear a lot about like mold and things and roof problems. We're not talking about just rip the tile off because the grout line's a little thick or the wall was crooked, right?
Yeah, we're talking like big water intrusion, mold
real
problems. Oh, yeah.
And you could go back to that contractor and say anything you want, but he's
probably out of business or he's not answering his phone anyway.
He's just not going to do anything until you go and try to force him. And then by that is probably too late, you know?
Not going to care.
And how are you going to force a guy that doesn't have any money to do anything anyway?
Yeah, so then
or the mental fortitude to know how to take care of it.
Yes. And so then it just, again, tees back up to this story that gets told over and over again at every cocktail party of some contractor that screwed over somebody else. So then automatically when somebody's going into their project and they're interviewing contractors, they're automatically not going to trust you because it's just this stuff that goes on in this industry. It's shady. It's shady. You get people that don't have a contractor's license. I'm an owner builder. I'm an owner build it and then I'm going to sell it. And it's like, and you don't even have a contractor's license.
They're going to hire all 50 of them guys and somehow figure that out. It makes it incredibly hard for what we do. And
I just think that this is already.
But once you've built the value in the beginning, you have to maintain it. So you can get the job, right?
I mean, if you care, then you want to maintain it. You don't have to care.
Because that happens, that's what I'm saying. Like, you obviously built something, okay, I trust Jerry, he's going to do this thing and it's going to be good. And then I start, screwing up and I'm losing your trust. Like, that's what the general needs to maintain throughout there. And that's what we talk about, having Builder Trend and the right team and all the processes that maintain the trust throughout the entirety of the project.
It's what they're seeing as it goes.
Yeah.
And as it goes along. And is it following some kind of schedule? Is there progress happening? Like, I think that homeowners don't understand sometimes what happens or takes place when it comes to the work that we do. Just like it's just hanging drywall, right? Just hanging drywall. It's not that big a deal, right? I patched a hole in my hallway from my kid. That's not that hard, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think what homeowners don't realize sometimes is all the little nuances that go into those things that make it happen. That it just happens. Just no big deal, right? But it's like, well, no, like, when is that window package going to be there? And is it going to be on time? And what do why there's nobody working today? How many times do you see that?
Oh, yeah. And generally, a lot of times they're good tradesmen, but their lack of all these things, like you were just alluding to, nobody ordered the windows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, did anybody order the doors?
Oh,
or
shit.
the doors with the kerf in them?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong doors.
Yeah.
Or 8-foot doors instead of this or that or whatever. And then the jobs just sit and sit and sit.
And it's stalled.
John is a hell of a carpenter, boy. He can build a house, but dude can't send an email or order a window to save his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that a lot more, nowadays. It's more of that stuff. Like, they just have a hard time with all the clerical type of communication with everybody.
They do. But then, like, let's say that, let's go back to your example of the doors get ordered the wrong size, right? I think that's where you lose trust as well. Because are you going to tell the homeowner, I made a mistake? Or are you going to try to cover your ass?
Yeah.
And I think that is where people get caught up in I don't want to admit that I'm wrong or I made a mistake. So they don't come clean of what's actually happening. Mm-hmm. And so then it just looks shady.
And then the financial burden is put back on the homeowner with some sort of half-truth or lie or something to cover their ass.
Correct.
Because when you got 5, 6, 10 grand on the line because you screwed up, you're going to try to get out of that somehow.
Versus just owning it and going, you know what, I'm going to pay for that or I'm going to have to eat that. And I'm really sorry. These got ordered in the wrong size. They're 2 weeks out. The job's going to be delayed.
Back to the paint schedule.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, it's got to be in pre-construction. It's all got to be there.
But sometimes, again, back to but that sometimes it just gets missed and then it happens. And I see that a lot, or I hear about it a lot. I shouldn't say I see it in our own. I see it with other contractors and I'll hear about it. There's a problem. We're not going to tell the client.
Yeah.
And that's where I have a hard moral stance on that, because I'm going to just tell you what's happening. I'm going to tell you if I screwed up, because I'd rather just be honest with you and put it out there and just genuinely tell you we had a problem. I screwed up. I'm taking care of it. I have it right now. We took a man door off in the garage because everybody was coming through and we were keeping the original man door and it was getting beat up. Everybody going back and forth through this garage. We took off the door. The door got stored in the garage. There was about 5 or 6 other doors that had water damage, and they were all getting thrown out. And the guy came to clear out the garage, and he threw away the man door. Guess who just bought a new man door, right? And the client walked through. She's like, "Where's that door?" I'm like, "Yep."
Order a new one.
I was like, "It's on order. We had to order a new one. Somebody threw it away, but I took care of it. It's not your fault, not your problem."
When they see that stuff, I think it makes them feel good. Because there probably was times where you might have had to ask them for more money for certain things. Yeah. So it shows the relationship where it's a give and take.
Yes.
I screwed up.
And I'm going to own it. And I think that, again, back to that buying of trust and that those pieces of trust, your true character as a contractor comes out when you actually fess up to those things and you say that. And that's the difference of what's going to make you stand out to that client of, I'm going to continue to trust you through this process.
Yeah.
How do you own the problems?
You know what? Try it, because it feels good to just put it out there and go, I fucked up.
Because once you make it up in your head,
there's nothing else for anybody to say.
What are they going to, worst case, they're going to be mad at you for 10 minutes? Dude. And then it's going to be like, okay, well, I appreciate you being honest. Because whatever you made up in your head of whatever the client's reaction is going to be is 10 times worse than what it reality is. Most of the time it's going to be like, oh, okay.
Luckily, I know how to fix it. That's what I love about.
Well, make sure you come with the solution, not just I have this problem and you have no solution.
And in our world, it's like Jerry's the drywall guy and this guy's the painter and this guy, and so it's like when I have a problem, I don't mind admitting it because I have the ability to fix it, the financial ability, the team, all the things to make it right. So, yeah, it sucks, but I feel confident that I can do it, mm-hmm. and I didn't have to bullshit you or beg for something or weasel out of it, because that sucks. That takes up more mental space than just going, okay, I've admitted fault. And then generally you guys are relatively nice about it. Jerry screwed up. Whatever, he needs the whatever to do the thing, right?
Yeah, we have to own it.
Yeah, okay, now we know and we can fix it. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realized that at a younger age, just to admit it was just too much head garbage to be trying to lie and
I think
out of it.
Part of it is, though, we've talked about it before, and I think there's this piece behind it of there's this ego part that doesn't want to admit when you are at fault or if you screwed up. And so I think checking that ego side of it and just being honest will save you face versus getting either bent out of shape about it, blowing up about it. Because ultimately all that does, whether you're a sub to GC to owner, all it does is just ruin your reputation. It makes it where you don't want to either, that client's not going to want to work for you again, or if you're a sub, that GC's not going to have you on site anymore because you're not owning the problem. You're not owning a situation.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, too.
It's going to be, but check your ego at the door.
Well, after you do yell and create a scene. It's kind of embarrassing because 99% of the time, the guy that's yelling or whatever is out of line, unless it's frustration. There's like that different one that's frustration, where you're just frustrated about the situation, but the attack and not, what I mean? The other one where you're yelling and trying to save your ass. Yeah. It's embarrassing. And everybody knows it in the room. You can smell it on the people.
See it, and you can see the frustration. I think even back to, shit, you and I just had this conversation at a job site where it's like, okay, you're frustrated. Got it. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah.
What do you want to see? Because it's like, okay, great. Is this we need to talk about this? And then what solution are we going to come up with that you're not going to feel frustrated anymore and we got to still get the job done? How do we get there?
That we're just trying to get the job done. That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Together.
Yeah. Then the client sees it. And I think that the client sees and the client knows it. And the more transparent that you can be on that, the better. Because it will just, especially as jobs come to the end or they get long in the tooth or you're tired of them and the client's tired of you, they're going to look for more things to be frustrated about or to put back on you of like, well, see, you're not as good as you said you were.
Oh, yeah. Expectations.
This cabinet guy's behind. Yes, the cabinet guy is behind. And guess who I'm talking to every single day at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day? The cabinet guy.
Everybody that knows me has heard me say, look, we're building this job here. They've got 20 different subs. Each of them have a wife. Each of them have 10 employees. Each of them have a wife. There's now 20 per sub, 10 subs, 200. It goes on and on and on. You got one kid. And all of a sudden that guy, the cabinet guy's employee's son could mess up that pocket door install.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't even know anybody, that's how intense it is. And that's why the communication needs to be on point,
I think gets lost in all of this. It just gets lost in this, like, well, why isn't it just done yet?
We want it to be done.
Well, if you just give it back to me earlier, that would be fine. If you could just be done faster, that would be fine. That's what gets lost in this big, let's do this all for drama and TV and, ratings and,
That's why we're paying for builder trends and doing all this stuff so we don't have those dead days when John's son called in sick, so John's not going to come do stucco now.
Yeah.
We have all these communications and lines and we have our PMs up, your PMs up our asses to make sure we're showing up.
Yeah.
Because if John's son is sick on Wednesday and you want me there on Monday, I'm not calling you Wednesday to go, we're going to try to figure it out. And most of the time that doesn't work. But if your PMs are up our asses going, hey, still tracking good for Monday, on Wednesday they call, then it's kind of like, oh, okay. And I see that in a general sub relationship again. I see that the good ones are always babysitting us and are beating on our doors and checking on us. And they understand that, like, we have 7 to 10 jobs maybe a week where you're just on 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. So they think they're like, oh, I told them 9 days ago we'd be ready on Monday. Well, in that 9 days, I've been on like 20 job sites. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And nobody's ever ready for me the day they say. It's within a couple of days, but not that day. So the communication, again, for relationship-wise.
It has to be. It goes both ways in order to keep the trust,
But all these things, it all builds that value. And without it, that's when we start getting those bad reputations as contractors.
Yes. Yeah.
You might be a great guy, but you can't pick up the phone and call the homeowner and just go, hey, man, the stucco guy's son was in a car wreck. He's not going to be here till Wednesday. Instead, they just hide in a hole.
And just don't answer the phone.
And don't answer the phone.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. and Mrs. Smith that just gave you $180,000 are over there stewing on it because
they're making up something else in their mind. I'm like, is this guy going to come back on Wednesday? Is he not? Like, do I know when I'm going to be done? Do I not know?
My sister just drove by. Nobody's at the job site.
Yeah. Whereas that guy might have been there the whole time, but he was at lunch. But now it's this compounding thing of just this snowball of whatever they're going to build up in their minds. And it's 10 times worse. And my biggest piece and my biggest gripe is just communicate, whether that is to your employees, if that's to your clients, if that's to your subs. Just be honest about what's going on. To some extent, you can't disclose everything, but whatever, people are going to build up this bigger story in their head than what it is.
And you want it to be the good story.
You want it to be the truth. For me, the truth, and I'm going to tell you as much as I can without, divulging people's personal information, right? As much as I can, right? But I think about that as well. And I try to do that as an owner when it comes to my employees. And I always think back when I first job out of college and, 2008, and it was like every Friday somebody would get laid off. It'd be like 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, be like 2:00, your computer shut down. That went on for months. And it was so stressful, and it was kind of a joke. So if your computer went out at 2:00 on a Wednesday, you were like, oh shit, it's not Friday. Am I getting laid off? Right. But it never got communicated to us what was happening. And it was very stressful to work in that environment, and nobody knew what was going on. It wasn't like we're making cuts. We have to make cuts. We have to cut this many employees. The company's okay, you're okay. Like it wasn't discussed. And so I always try to be very transparent, both to my customers and from an employee side. So if you're listening to this as a contractor that has employees, if you can try to be as open and honest about what's going on. I always tell my employees, if somebody leaves the company, whether they choose or we choose, or it's a mutual decision, right? I always try to be upfront about that. And if somebody leaves the team, I always personally call every single person on the team, and I will tell them myself.
Yeah, that is really, really good advice. And letting him know the health of the business is good.
Yeah.
This is hard physical work. And when they know they're doing good and helping out the greater good, and we've got work coming, it builds morale, it builds a good team. And, hey, we got things, you guys are doing a great job. We killed that. We're all doing our part, and it's working.
Yeah.
Because it's extremely hard to make it work.
Yes.
So to let them know that it's working and they're part of something that is doing well will build a really good team.
Well, and I think your team is like my team, where sometimes they end up, it's just a guy out on a site, right? Like it might just be Garrett out at a job putting in trim and casing, right? And he might maybe see Janae for maybe an hour and a half for the day, right? But then for the most part, he's by himself, right? So you got to think about it, right? Like they're out there, they're on site. If they don't know what's going on, again, it's back to like the clients. Like there could be something else, right? Like that's like, and that's in general, that's any practice in life, right? Where it's like, if you don't know what's actually going on, you build up these stories in your head that could be absolutely the farthest from reality. And so it's the more forward, I think, and that's the theme, I think, of this episode is that the most transparent, the most honest that you can be about any of the realm of what's going on within your business, on the job site, with your clients, with your employees, with your subs, like the better off it is. Because then it's like you can't make up something else. You're right? Because what they make up is 10 times worse than what's actually happening.
Oh, man. It's so true.
Right? It's like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God, why does Bob not work here anymore? Did he get fired? Well, no, maybe he just decided that he was going to move to Idaho. Like, and it's like, and then you just tell, your subs like, hey, Bob doesn't work here anymore. He's making a move for his family. Like, they're actually leaving the state. And that's like, oh, versus like, Bob got fired and Heather's pissed. Like, it's just like, it turns into this whole thing.
The telephone we use whisper.
Yes. And the story ends up different 15 people down the line.
Yeah. It's so true. It's crazy. Yeah. It's so wild.
It is, but it's very true for clients, and it's very true for your employees too. And I just think the natural discussion that can happen is what will
Well, that's why we're
save
here,
these things.
right? The transparency. We started the podcast. We're talking. It's you and I. We're telling our truth, showing our personalities and what we're passionate or not passionate about.
No, we
It's
don't. We
another
just
layer.
talk on a podcast, Jerry. Come on. We just got
Yeah.
like Instagram shamed for that, right? That, you know, those
What
who
did he
can't
say?
do just get a podcast.
Just get a podcast.
We just get a podcast. Those that can't do, right?
It's like, I don't know how to do this screw gun. You know what? I'm going to do a podcast. I don't know how to do a podcast. I do know how to do drywall.
Yeah, you're like, hold on. Same, right? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't know. I can schedule out like crazy, but I'm like, man,
what
this
an
whole
asshole. That poor guy is just like, probably beats his wife.
I don't know. It's trolling, right? It's so trolling. I think, and this podcast has been fun in putting it out there and putting out your information. I think sometimes, you know, there's the blowback. There's the blowback that comes from that of just being honest and putting it out there. Oh
God, but it's worth it. I mean, if anybody wants to know who they're hiring, just listen to a few episodes.
It's been interesting because we've had clients come and meet with us, and they will sit in the room and they will quote back things that I've said on the podcast. And I'll have clients, and I'll be in a client meeting on a job, and I'll have a client, you know, reference like, oh, I listened to your podcast with so-and-so. And so it's funny.
Yeah.
Because they do listen.
People, when they find out that you might be working with them or around, they start doing their research, you know, the internet, and then they figure out what's going on.
Like, where'd you get name dropped?
Yeah. Same with sponsors. It's like we don't want to be aligned with a particular sponsor, or we kind of got to choose which ones.
Yeah.
And one of ours reached out to us, Panoramic Doors. You know, they reached out and said, "Hey, we want to align with you guys," and they've been a good sponsor thus far. They have a good product. I see them on a lot of projects all over town, and real recognize real with that. Yeah,
and it's something that we have in our own house, and that a product that we back. And I think that's part of why you and I started this, and we've been very strategic of who we've brought on board that we want to partner with and we want to put our names behind, because
trade partner.
It has to be somebody in a material or product or a piece that we believe in.
Yeah, so as if you're a homeowner, a general contractor, and you're looking for, big, nice, pretty doors, panoramicdoors.com has everything you need. Yeah.
I think one of the things we didn't really talk about is expectations and setting up expectations for clients or for you, for general contractors. How do you handle expectations when it comes to the GC side? I know enough because I've worked with you long enough, but let's say I'm a new GC and I've never worked with
and I'm letting you know how we roll.
Yeah. What does that look like for you?
I just text them the link to this podcast now.
You're like, just listen to episodes 1 through 20. You'll be fine.
I don't have much to say. I don't know. Whatever the other guys do that piss you off, I'm not going to do that. So simple as that. I mean, I don't know. What do I do for expectations? It's all different. Each one of you guys are really, really different. And you're looking for a different... If you're looking for a new drywall guy, something was done that you didn't like, whether it was equality or relationship or scheduling. So I got to figure that out first, and then I can, set the expectations of how things are going to go. But
is that a quantifying? Do you ask? You're like, hey, who'd you use on your last job?
Yeah.
How'd that go? Is that a question? What does that look like for you?
I ask who you've been using, and
What's the usual answer you get? So, like, is there like it's this one guy around town?
Oh man, it's a lot of like first name, like a guy named Juan or whatever. It's generally never the company's name. It's
like
always
a guy who does it on the side.
It's like a 3-man band, and they really don't know what the name of the company is. They just know they've been working with John. So it's not a lot of, in our world, there's not a lot of brand name subcontractors. It's a lot of 2 to 3 to 4 man crews. And
but typically aren't. They're just getting cash, or they're not an actual company.
They could be doing everything above board as far as all that goes. Workers' comp, pay on payroll, and do all that. They could be doing all that, but they might not be able to follow a schedule because they're too small.
Yeah,
or too old. They're not going to deal with builder trend.
Yeah.
The guys are shifty. the owner works with everybody. And when that happens, you either get really good work or really rough work. And the relationship suffers, as well. And then he's running around. He's not there watching guys. So, I mean, it's just in our world, it's so hard, so I just have to find out what you're missing.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of, in this town, there's not a lot of brand name drywall companies that are residential that, have 10 tapers and 4 hangers every day like I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fortunate in that way that I've kind of found my niche, right? But yeah, it's a tough question, really.
Yeah. Making sure that whatever that is, what's the craziest expectation that you've had to fill that you're like, there's no fucking way I'm doing that?
Man, it's always like wanting me to do something while other people are there or something, or start on that
Jerry,
side of the house.
That's every job.
I kind of like, I don't know, if I think in retrospect, I guess you don't try to push me around when you meet me. You know that I'm coming in for real.
That's usually because you come in hot.
Yeah. So
like usually if it's the first job, it's like Jerry comes in hot and usually he'll walk around and he'll be like, you don't have any blocking for me here. What the fuck is that? Like this is, and in those exact words, like we're talking like we're dropping some F-bombs. It's very specific. And then he's like, call me when you're ready. That's usually what it is.
Right. So I'm setting the tone.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do not respond. They don't catch hints. They're not responsive to, hey, are you guys going to go through and do a QC on framing?
I think that's a gender problem, too.
Yeah, so you just got to go, you got to like rile them up.
The dudes on site don't respond to that, is what you're saying. The female PMs get the underlying tone.
That's what they're there for. That's somebody else we know is going to hire or is trying to hire. There was a couple people, a woman and a male, in the running for PM. And I'm like, dude, you got to hire that woman all day long. Because she knows she doesn't know how to do this thing. She doesn't know how to do it. She's here to do all this other shit that really we need her to do.
Yeah.
Because a man will revert to his trade stuff and be a trades guy and put all the important, clerical stuff second.
Yes.
But really, that's not what we need. We have guys for that.
Yeah.
We need you to be a real project manager and coordinator and get things scheduled and let me know when, what, and where.
Yeah.
So yeah, when the women are in charge, that's if you can get a good project manager woman, that's one of the reasons why.
Recruit them.
Yeah.
Find them.
Dude.
Find somebody organized.
Yeah, an organized or something. But I haven't worked with one that I didn't really like. I mean, I have, but like...
You have. That's a lie.
But,
I know firsthand.
But they're still doable. The guys are the worst. Guys suck. Assholes,
there you go. There's some ego there.
Yeah.
There is. Yeah. I think it's the same for clients as well. I think that we try to start with the setting the expectations very early when the client first comes to interview us. This is the expectation. This is what you can expect. And then always trying to ensure that we're meeting the expectation of the communication. We'll meet as a team. Maybe we have a job that's in pre-con and we're waiting for drawings. It's like, when was the last time anybody reached out to that client? Oh, it's been like a week and a half. We need to drop in an email.
That's very
right?
cool.
We're working on this. We'll see you guys in the meeting in a week and a half, right? If I have to ask when's the last time and it's not on my mind right away, it's like, oh, we need to reach out to that client.
Yeah.
So I always try to make sure that we're setting that expectation, we're communicating that, and the client always knows what to expect from us.
Yeah.
So
that's great that you do that. I bought a pair of shoes online, and it was like, oh, it's going to take 3 months to make these shoes.
Jeez, where are you getting these shoes from, Jerry?
They're nice shoes.
Sounds like it. Dang. These are not on-site shoes. There will be no drywall mud on these shoes. Got it.
And they would send these emails.
Of like the status update on your shoes?
They would be like, hey, Jerry. And it was like a guy wrote. He's like, hey, Jerry, just let you know that, your
insoles got made.
Your insoles are made.
You got a high arch.
Yeah. And like all that. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then when I got them, they came in this really nice box and a postcard handwritten. And
these are fancy shoes.
Yeah, they are. Well, that if you're doing that level of service, and every time that I've spent some money on a service like that, I've been really happy when I got the product. I have a shirt in my closet I haven't wore in 2 years. I got it 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it came in this. It was the same sort of situation, and it came folded in like another towel. And it's really nice. And every time I get it out, I go, but it's so nice. And the presentation was nice. And when I bought it and the emails and the written card,
I saw the written. You're like, this
and I'm
is
like,
great.
Yeah. So if you can have a business that offers those times of like that type of service during your service.
Yeah. The hand holding piece.
I'll melt in your hand. I don't care how much it costs.
But I think that's how most people I think most people want that or appreciate that. I don't think there's people that are necessarily like, why are they sending these dumb postcards? Like, I don't care. I just want my shoes.
They were $250. They weren't $1,000 shoes.
Yeah.
So that's the misconception that everybody's like, oh, these are $1,000 deal. Oh, they're going to be too much.
Well, I don't know.
Jerry's too expensive or whatever. I've never even been a job for you. How the fuck do you know what I'm up to?
Yeah.
You know, how often have you got that? Like, I just know how to spread the dollar about and be a good client or a good customer. You treat a client well.
Yeah.
You know,
$250 isn't exactly like, I mean, for shoes, that's not much. I mean, you've spent $250 on Nikes. Like, I mean, that's not even that crazy when you think about it. But to your point, it's the experience piece behind it, right?
I'll buy another and another and another, and I'll tell everybody about it.
Yes.
That's what they're doing. They're giving a little back to get more back later.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. I think it makes you feel good about spending your $250. And I don't think anybody from Nike's calling you to thank you for that, right?
No. And I think those bad actor contractors are just take. Yes. How much can I get? How much can I get? How much can I get?
They lose sight of the relationship during the process.
And the fact they got to be in town for the next 25 or 30 years or whatever the deal is, you know?
Yeah.
Like you do a lot of jobs and you've been take. If you do 10 a year.
Got to feel good seeing them at the airport.
Yeah,
talk about this all the time. Got to feel okay seeing them at the airport. That's always...
It's important to me to have a living and to be in business the next 20 plus years. And if sometimes I got to give back or I got to shut the fuck up, you know, then that's what I got to do.
And I think if you're another subcontractor or you're a contractor, I see this. I've seen this quite a few times now, and it seems like more recently for whatever reason, but losing sight of those little things, to your point of just, and I don't want to say shutting up and taking care of it, but when you're tripping over the small things, it's going to make you lose big things.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
You told somebody on site that if there's a problem, you'll be back for this in a year. And then if a year comes around and they're like, hey, I had a problem with these like 2 little minor things. And you're like, no way, I'm past my warranty. Forget you. I'm not taking care of that. Or I'm going to send you, like, that could screw you in the long run. And it's those little things that people lose sight of.
Yeah.
That break down the relationship of if I'm going to use this sub again. And same thing with a client, like the client back to general contractor, right?
Keeping that up through your whole entire project.
Yeah. And even after, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be 3 years down the line. I have a client has a problem with a recessed vanity mirror that's got built-in lights in it, and the lights went out, and we did our job 4 years ago. It's like, hey, well, let's reach out to the Ferguson rep, see what we can do. It's not under warranty anymore, but maybe we can talk to him. Maybe there's a problem with his product. I don't know.
It doesn't cost you anything to make phone calls and do emails and just being a nice person. And
we don't have, and I think that gets lost, and people just look at it as like, well, it's not my problem. You were my client 4 years ago. Like, forget you. And where it's much easier to just try to help take care of those little things. Yeah. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. It's not.
I just finished a really big job, and it's a huge house. And I said I told the project manager and the homeowner, it's an owner builder thing. And I said, hey, we're not done. We're done with this portion, this production phase, but we're not going anywhere. I'm here with you to the end. Like, things happen, I'm here. You're going to be put 6, 7, 8 months. You're still going to be working on it. It's so big and, you know, so much going on. Like, I'm here. I'm not gone. I'm just not here today. Yeah. So relax. Like, I'm part. And he goes, nobody says that. Because I could feel him trying to, like, not get me to leave. There's a hump and this is over here. And I go, dude, There's going to be 4 million things like this. So relax. Just keep going. I'm here for you.
Yeah. And if you're a sub, if you can reassure your GC of that, and as a GC, make sure you're not losing sight of that when it comes to what your homeowner's needs are. Yeah. Both in the jobs that you are maybe actively billing and actively collecting money on, and then the ones that have paid you in the end.
Yeah.
Because that little piece is what's going to make them talk about you at the next cocktail party, or it's going to come up.
The other bathroom that you didn't do that you want to do.
Yeah. All those things, right? Or they moved. Are they going to remember you? Are they going to remember what you did or didn't do? How did that lasting feeling?
Time to remodel the garage.
What does that look like? Yeah.
All that little stuff. It's just I work for some old timers, and all the time we're going to a house. He goes, I did this in 1973, or I did this and this. This is the third remodel. I did the son's house down the street.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen by being a dick.
Yeah.
That was some good businessman and becoming a quality builder in town and taking care of his people.
Yeah. It's the lasting reputation of trust. Because it's like, I trusted you in the beginning when I brought you on board to figure out what it took to do my job, then what it took to build my job, right? We got all the way to the end, and now I'm trusting that you're going to stand behind your work. You're going to warranty it.
Yeah, because I just gave you $1 million.
Yeah, and you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And so, that gets lost. I think sometimes people drive away, burn out in the driveway.
Mm-hmm. Done.
We're out. Deuces. And then don't call me, lose my phone number. And that doesn't. It's a tail. I heard somebody describe it as it's a tail that follows you. And so how much of that do you have?
Yeah, you're right. Just doing the right thing, guys. Don't overthink it. Just do the right thing.
Yeah, I just wish people's prisms of what the right things are would get clarified. Maybe we need a John Moore top 10 of what the right thing is sometimes, and some good examples behind that.
Yeah, John Moore, what a guy!
I know, right? Yeah, totally. Well, if you were going to hire. I guess the final question to this interview, and I'm not sure how I would answer this. It says, if your best friend called tomorrow and needed to hire a contractor, what advice would you give him?
My best friend?
Yeah.
Call somebody else.
Don't hire. Yeah. I would tell my best friend to call the other guy in town. Don't call me.
You tell me. What would you say? You got all the insight on that.
Man.
I mean,
I would say, my number one thing, don't work for your family and friends. That's probably the number one. You won't be your family and friends for long afterwards. No, I would say, let's say it's my friend who lives in Vacaville, right? Like, we don't go that far. So I would say that I would look for somebody who has a process that you can trust, right? And they might be somebody who's a little bit more, but you got to know, do they have a process? What's their communication look like? Can you trust them? Interview their previous clients. Are they happy, right? And not just the ones that they give you, right? If you can do a little digging, a little stalking, maybe you can find somebody who'll give you the real feedback.
The process is huge. The pre-construction, all that stuff, being super transparent, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all build the stuff, but can we run the business? And that's what makes us build the stuff good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be, can they build it well? And if something's not right, or if something goes wrong, will they tell the truth? Yeah.
Well, that one you might not know until you get to a wrong part. But if they're super transparent and upfront and don't bend when when the Mr. Homeowner try to bend them, then you kind of know. Like, I hired a guy. I've got 13,000 square feet of grass in my backyard.
Oof, football field.
Yeah, and it's not doing well this year, by the way. But anyway, But when I hired him, like, I don't know. I'm not a landscape guy, right? This is a few years ago, but I was like, out there, like, oh, what about? And he looks at me and goes, Jerry, you're not even ready. And I wouldn't even do this or that. And he's like telling me all this stuff. And I was like, all right, see you later. And like, I got a couple bids and I was like, I'm hiring that guy.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't bend on me, or he didn't like let me push him around. Like, he told me what was going to happen and how it should go to get the best results. And I respected that.
Yeah. He trusted the process versus you dictating it to him.
Yeah. I had all these ideas of things and how it was going to be and how much or maybe. And he was like, no.
But that's And
And
I
guess
think,
what? This guy, that was 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
This guy just came over the other day because I was like, why is my yard dying? And I was like, I don't know. And he came over to my house and was like, hey, and like 5 years later, he didn't have to come over for free. He just kind of gave me some advice. Maybe I was overwatering or something, and like, I was like, dude, that's a real guy. And he's not some big fancy company. He's just a good quality.
Yeah, but he stood behind his work,
contractor.
and he had a process, and if you were going to be his client, you had to follow his process.
Yeah.
That's like red flag for me, number one.
100%.
If a client tries to dictate for us how we're going to go run the job and what process we're going to go do, that's not a good client for me, because it's like you're hiring me as a professional. I have the process, right?
Yeah.
You trusted this guy's process.
It put me in my place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm going to hire him because he's the expert.
Yep.
Right? And
I
then he
lost
stood
track
behind
of
it.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm in this game.
Yeah. But sometimes you're like, well, it's just grass. Like, what do you mean? It's just grass. It's just plants. I can water them. It's fine. No big deal.
No,
Yeah.
So, those guys are good. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
So, yeah, I think that's the answer to this question.
Yeah.
Right? Is this person have a process, and do they know?
Yeah, it's their business. Let's
Yes.
hire them for their thing.
Yeah, their profession. You're hiring them as the professional.
100%.
I agree. Well, we've come to the most important part of the show. Who's more important today? I've only won this like twice.
Are.
No, I've only had like a couple fires lately.
I just got a lot of problems. Oh, shit. See?
Uh-oh.
5 texts, 4 missed calls.
Oh, man. I got, 7 calls, 6 texts. Uh-oh. What's on fire?
Oh, yeah. You're messed up.
Oh, no. Yeah. I got big problems.
Thank God it's not me.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
on any job, so
Damn.
I'm safe.
I gotta run out of here. Something's on fire. All right, I'm the winner today of whose world's on fire the most. Well, where can people like, subscribe, find?
Oh, everywhere. We're on everything. All the YouTube watch. You could watch us on YouTube.
We got a great shout out of like working on job schedules, watching the build line.
Yeah,
Man.
that was really cool.
I showed my kids.
Yeah,
my kids are like, "Wow,
that's
you're cool, Mom."
we don't even know that guy.
No, I was just, like shocked, man. I'm like, somebody wants to listen to this. I know. I was excited. So you can watch, listen, like, subscribe, really lean into the reviews, guys. So if you enjoy the show, even if it's just like, hey, episode 20 was great. Yeah. Any of those kind of nuggets, the shares on social media really do help. So we are tracking all those things. It helps. Obviously, Jerry and I share a lot, and we put it out there, and our sponsors have faith in us that you guys are listening. And so if you guys show up and reshare that, it just shows, again, that this industry wants the feedback. They want the tea from Jerry and Heather.
Yeah. Everybody helping everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
It's true. It's true. I had somebody tell us the other day, they were like, wow. They're like, you and Jerry on the podcast, it's like you are in real life. I'm like, go figure. I was like, yes, this is true. This is genuinely how Jerry and I are.
Yeah, after 5 minutes with the headphones on, you forget that there's all these lights, 1, 2, 3 lights, 3, 4 cameras in here. So this is cool.
We do this as an outlet for Jerry and I, for this industry, and what we want to give back and what we want to do to make it better. So if you guys can
meet more people, we like to meet cool people and have these good guests and get their insights on everything business, and it's great. So I mean, you don't have to listen to all the episodes in a row. You can skip around now. We've got enough.
We do. Yes. Yeah. And if you are also like, how do Heather and Jerry do this? I want some more time with you. I want to check it out. Both Jerry and I are on the Build Bar. So check out build-bar.com. You can book consult time with both Jerry and I there as well. I think Jerry's a great resource. If you're a subcontractor and you want to learn how you can elevate your own business, I think Jerry brings such a great insight to how to do that as a sub to a GC relationship. Meeting expectations, going beyond expectations, and back to your point of just making some things go away.
That's it.
So if you want some insight from Jerry, I think that is very helpful to check out buildbar.com.
Help first, business second.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jerry.
Thank you. Okay.
Now I got to do intro.
Now I'm going to get so yelled at. That help first, business second is a friend of mine's quote. And he yells at me every week. You don't even, because I'll drop a hint like that. He goes, you don't even say it was from me.
You're going to get all kinds of pushback on that
now
one.
I know if he's listening.
But you know what you're going to have to do is he needs to go like claim that on the review. Be like, oh, well, go claim it on the review.
Yeah, that's what I'll put back on him.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Drop a review in the comments and be like, Jerry plagiarizes my tagline.
Yeah. Oh, man.